What's going on, fellow humans and resellers? It is I, James, redoptionagency.com. Can I say 22 years yet? 22 years selling full-time on eBay by next month, in a week or so. So, it is Monday morning. It's easy like Monday morning. Okay, wrong lyrics, but that's all right. Today, I think my little topic's going to be having to do with the difference in YouTubers and how certain ones are better off to watch than others and why. At least for trying to go full-time or running a full-time eBay business. Next up, I've got an item here that probably 75% of you are going to say, you did not just sell that. Cliffhanger. And I got a great story that goes along with it. So, let's get the old shipping systems fired up. Put in the gasoline, check the oil, pull the ripcord. All right. Let's see here. So overnight, it felt like there was a shutdown. There was about, I think it was 7 hours. I only sold 3 items. So still a lot going on there in that department. Have you seen my shorts for the last, I think I got 4 days now of shorts of showing the issues and the errors and the server failures and all that stuff. I decided to wait till today to put all those together, and I'm going to send that off today because I figured it's Monday. If I did it Friday, it might get lost in somebody's inbox, et cetera, if they're able to forward it to other people or if I do. So I might even look up some, and I thought about this and somebody made a comment about shareholders need to know this stuff. So I might look up some names of some of the big shareholders and just forward the email that direction too. You know? I mean, I don't know. Am I going to be getting myself into trouble? I mean, it's all factual. It's all on video. It's all there. It all shows, the situation. So I'm just wondering, my question will be, are you guys aware of this? That it's been going on for 2 years, and is there ever going to be a fix? I just like to know an answer. So, I'm not going to be hostile or angry about it. I'm past that. So now I'm trying to do something more constructive not destructive, but constructive to help the situation. So, and like I said, if it comes to nothing, it comes to nothing, but at least it allows me to concentrate that into one particular area and not let it spread anywhere else. So, yes, there are still problems, and you can watch my shorts to see those. All right. Weekend numbers. I knew there was someplace I was supposed to go next. The weekend was... So I don't know if you can see this clearly there or not, but I talked about my graph going like that. Now it's going, and it's just a smooth ride. It's never been that smooth for that long of time. So we hit the bottom. Now we're those 2 days that I was working with the site. Now it's starting to go back up again. Hopefully that's a good direction and we stay that way this time, but we'll see. Overall, starting the morning down almost 13%. So we're getting back to almost the 16% that I was down before I had that good June run at the beginning of the month. That put me about 17 up, I think it was. Or no, I was 17 down. I don't remember how far up I was, but I was up a decent amount. And I probably lost about at least minimum of 20% since then. So, but then again, like we said, July is my slowest month. You can call it a summer slowdown if you want. Depends on what you sell. But for me, June and July is my slowest months of the year. I always did good, but it's still the slowest months. So I could technically call it a summer slowdown because of the way it affects my numbers. But it's not like it was always slow. It was slower. So, so Friday, only the $532 made it to. So nowhere near my bottom line goal. Saturday, $623. So didn't even make my bottom end goal on a weekend. Yesterday, $681. Still didn't even make my bottom end goal on a weekend Sunday. So we are at 9:20 a.m. I'm at 141 right now. So that's a better start than the last 3 mornings. Yeah, definitely. Probably more than 3, but at least the last 3 mornings, that's better than. So we will take that to push us through the day. Friday, 39 items sold, 8 organic, 31 promoted. So even with my store indexing back or whatever it was doing, messing with it for 2 days, I still got about the same amount of organics as I was when my store wasn't even being messed with. So I found that a little odd. I expected it to be much lower again. But then Saturday it was. Not much, but 46 items sold, 6 organic, 40 promoted. Yesterday, 46 items, same as Saturday. 11 organic, 35 promoted. So, I did get at least Saturday and Sunday, my total impressions were up a couple hundred, about 150,000. So we made it at least back to 1.5 million impressions. So now would I say the difference between the 1.5 and the 1.9 to 2.2 would be because of July? Possibly. Pretty good possibility. Because it's not that much, but then again, that doesn't affect your numbers because that depends on what type of items you sell. Like most of my items have been just the low dollar stuff this weekend. Not many, if any, probably a few of my higher dollars, but not with the amount of higher dollar items I'm putting up. I didn't see no increase or even feel stable with the upper dollar stuff, but we're going to keep going. Keep going is what the Found on Friday series is for the most part. Yeah, so, all right. So that's all. Apparently, it seems I'm a little spacey today, so that when I get into the topic, it probably won't. I know when I talk about it, there might be some incompletes there, but for the most part, I'll try to give you the baseline of what I'm talking about. But first, we're going to go into YouTube and see some questions and comments. If you didn't see, Jan's second Christmas video went up yesterday. What a cool room, Jan. I love Christmas decorations. DePaul University, Chicago. Gotcha. I'll try to skip some of these that are not going to really make a good point or anything. Just kind of talking. Like this one, eBay, on one of my shorts, they just decided to be communist. Damn communists! This one says, I am seeing an uptick in eBay sales. Still not great, but not morbid like it was for a few years, or like it was a few ago, however long a few ago is. Somebody Jan worked with at CVS left a message. Jan, I miss you. It's Jess from CVS. That's hilarious. DR was a car salesman and lives with his in-laws. I did not know that. That is kind of funny. That in one video I said there's plenty of used car salesmen out there. And I didn't mean that to all car salesmen. That's just kind of the feel of a shyster, if you will. Kind of another word for a shyster. And he never talks about the quality of items, garbage in and then going out. Jan. You could probably use beads for the nutcracker nose. I'll let Jan read her video stuff. I'm so glad you're okay. You didn't miss a beat. You got stung by bees, cut by a chainsaw, but here's the next hat. I went out to chainsaw some trees, and we got one that's fallen over from a storm, or not, a dead tree fell on it and started pushing the live tree over. I got the dead tree down. So I was going to go out and work on the one that's dying now. And halfway down to it, I guess I stepped in a nest of bees, some types of bees. I got stung on my ankle. And it hurt. I'm like, what? And so I went down to swat at it. And I guess I did it with the chainsaw hand. And I sliced my lower leg up our ankle with the chainsaw. And so I got stung there. I got stung here. Got stung on my back. Got stung in my ear. And then Adrian got stung. And they got in his clothes also. And I got to keep an eye on my leg today because I had shooting pain all day yesterday from a little place that's a lot deeper than the rest of the cuts. So I haven't felt it yet this morning, so that's a good thing. But getting stung in the ear, that was painful literally all day yesterday. Feels a lot better now, so that's good. So, but yeah, not fun. But it could have been worse, so. Alrighty. James, I am a long-time watcher. I have a quick question. You always mention you have these storage units, but you are always sourcing. Why do you believe the items you find now are going to be better than the thousands you already owned? Well, it's not that I think those are better. It's just it's the freedom to be able to do it. Because if I don't, guess what James is doing? He's stuck in the house 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, doing the same routine over and over and over again. That will drive you to insanity. The only time I was getting out for the past 7+ years is if I when I go to the post office. And at that time, if I decided to run over to the bins because somebody else was here for an hour to grab some hats. Other than that, I was in the house. So getting out on a Friday and Saturday, it's more about me just getting out than it is buying the stuff. But that's why I kind of was aiming for higher dollar things or bigger profit things. How about that? Bigger profit items. It's a good way of putting it. Because like all that vinyl I bought, I paid $55 for it. Well over $500 made from that stuff. So looking for those scores, basically. So, and plus that only is going to help the business in the long run. So. I found on Friday series. James, love this series. Please share your sourcing and listing items. Please. I know you list fast, but would like to know the time committed for each haul. I'm trying to keep it like within an 8 to 10 hour range from what I feel somebody else could do. So I'm trying to keep it that. So if you're working part-time, it's like an extra 8 to 10 hours, not counting when something sells and you ship it. But the going out, the buying, the listing, I'm trying to keep all that within 8 to 10 hours. And I don't really keep track, but like from not this past Friday, but the Friday before, I still have a few items left over from that because I felt, that's probably about the time range that somebody would have. So here's a little extra small death pile for the found on Friday. So then if I say don't go anywhere next Friday or I didn't find nothing next Friday, then I've got those items to get listed. So I'm kind of trying to treat it like that. Hence why I was trying to, for the most part, stay with higher dollar items because of that time factor, even though I went a little crazy this past Friday. Thank you for showing your packing. I'm learning. Agree, James has the biggest death pile on YouTube. I don't know. Mr. Buys a Lot probably has a bigger death pile than I do, even though he don't do solely eBay. Wow, what gives him the right to pick apart your store, even on media slander? I don't care if anybody picks apart the store. It's really the source it's coming from and or how somebody does it. You know, if they do it out of respect, but there's not a respect history. And that's all I'll say about that. So I've called them out on a couple of different things. So this sounds sad. What eBay is doing. I want to start selling on eBay, but still don't know enough information. I watched your video yesterday about posting items. I don't know anything about how to get paid, or does eBay pay you? Well, if you're that at the beginning, what you need to do is just read everything on eBay. Go to eBay Help and read every question, frequently asked question. Read through it all once, read through it all twice. If you have to, read through it 3 times. Get all that information. Do what they tell you to do on how to do things. Get started like that. That's where you're going to be able to start. You have to start there. You have to find that stuff out basically for yourself to show that you're committed to doing it. Because if you're not committed to even reading over all the frequently asked questions and the rules and stuff like that, then are you really committed to make a selling business work when you're working for yourself? So that's kind of like the first step in holding yourself accountable, if you will. So something little simple like that on how to get paid, that's all on eBay, and you need to go read that. Those little basic information questions I try to stay away from, because then you can tell if somebody's serious about reselling. You can tell if you're serious about reselling. It's how much work you're willing to put in to get off the ground. My channel is going to be about everything else. So you got to get off the ground first, or at least know the rules of the foundation of the ground. How about that? Your death pile looks way more organized than mine. It's stacked 10 feet high, and I hope to get it the next 20 years. Well, you haven't seen some of my storage areas. It's not really organized. It's just put in there. Holy crap, funny. I actually work with data a lot, and when I do research on the bay or the river, I never ever pick a category. I pick all, because I know that category is often wrong. The worry I see here with eBay is that categories is required field, and other queries, including category, not being null. These listings can be functionally invisible. And see, that's the thing. I would love to know the statistics of how many people actually use the category when they're searching for stuff on the site, because it's not the easiest thing to find. First off, it's not the easiest thing to see. I mean, if you search something on eBay website, sure, it says filter here, but how many people use filter, not resellers? And how many people go past condition and maybe even pricing? Other than that, everything else is pretty pointless. It just feels like all this category nonsense, and a few reps back in before this, all the new reps seem to be taken over. A lot of the reps say they've been voicing their concern about how it just seems like a waste of time with all these so detailed item specifics. And I mean, personally, I believe it's fed by the algorithm changes and stuff like that. Because the more item specifics there are, the more ways they can charge you for searches, because there's more ways to search. Well, now eBay's new, pay us $1 and we'll make sure that any item you have that's within the item specific field of color will be seen first. You know what I mean? It seems like they can nitpick and narrow down a lot easier to make more money somehow, some ways. I don't know. Like, I've always said a person that's going to look for a cassette tape on eBay or a vinyl record, they're typing in the artist and maybe cassette and maybe record. And that's all they're doing. They're not going to go over here to the scroll and say, oh, well, I want this version of the album. They're going to go through every album and go, okay, well, and they're going to do it based on criterias of looking and stuff. Okay, that looks like it's in good condition. That one's in better condition. Let's go. So eBay is more of a older generational website. Well, here's a two-part theory. Older generational part website, so people are just going to search in the search bar. Next off, okay, say your argument is, well, it's to help bring younger people in, because the younger people, well, they know how to use it, and they might be able to find stuff quicker, but that actually would take longer in my eyes. A new person wants the stuff, boom, boom, boom. They're going to type it in, look, boom, take it, boom, buy. Oh, crap. Ooh, there's a cheaper one, cancel. I got to send this back. I don't know. It's just, I just feel like it's a big waste of time personally. But that's with the information and the thoughts in my head now. I might read something in the future, or one of you might say something in the future that might change that. So who knows? Who knows? But to me, it just feels like a big waste of time. Feels like people just earning paychecks, and nothing's really getting any benefit out of it. But like I said, I'd love to see the statistics behind it all, to see if I'm completely wrong. I would really like to know that. That's why, like on hats, I just leave it multicolor. How many people are typing in looking for a hat by color and don't just type in red hat? Somebody's probably not typing in St. Louis Cardinal baseball hat, going over to the side and going, ooh, I want a red one. Well, there's red pretty much in 95% of the Cardinal baseball hats. So they would pretty much all come up. So it just, anyway, enough of that dead horse to beat on. Glad you survived the bees and chainsaw. One more good excuse for me not to do yard work. That was enough excuse for me. I'm calling somebody. They can deal with it. Love to talk about capitalism. It brings innovation and change for the people. Absolutely right. And then talking about other stuff. All right. Let's get on to shipping and talking, I guess. I think the kind of direction I want to go with is, and it's kind of fitting to a lot of I feel the resellers in the wave I'm in on YouTube. Now, when I talk about that, I mean like somebody like Pete, Craigslist Hunter, has been doing the reselling videos for very long, like an OG type, right? And then you have a wave that took off and went crazy and still doing crazy, like a Cincinnati Picker, or I'm blanking right now. And then you have another wave with, say, like a Shed Flips and what's his name? A Commonwealth Picker, ADH Dave. And then I feel, as part of the wave behind that, hopefully trying to ride a wave anyway, with me and like Dixon's Pickens and a few others, well, several others, but kind of going by view counts is what kind of I base it by, and how long they've been doing it type of feel. So I feel like the wave I'm in, and maybe a few from the wave above, there's certain people that give a little bit more detail when it comes to the videos. And by detail, I mean showing you actual numbers that they do. There's a lot out there that can give you false hope because you're not seeing all the details, all the numbers, knowing the whole situation as a whole. And that's why I try to be open about every single thing. If I'm not open about it, it's because I didn't even think about it. When it comes to how much I need per day to survive, my bare minimum, finding out your bare minimum is the first and foremost thing. Know your numbers, because if you don't know your numbers, you're setting yourself up to fail right off the bat. Know your numbers. Part of knowing your numbers, how much money do you spend every month personally? Before you even start thinking about going full time, how much do you spend personally? Write it down. Every month, I used to do this, go in my checkbook online, and I would separate food. Some credit cards and that do that for you now. Write the exact amounts down, keep a running total for the month, do it again the next month. Is it about the same? Do it again the next month. Do it for, 3 to 6 months and see if it's pretty consistent. Then you take that monthly number and you divide it by 30 days. That gives you how much per day you need to earn to pay for your personal lifestyle. So I say personal lifestyle because that needs to be your payroll from the business, not what your business is making, not the profit your business is making, but the amount of profit, the amount of money you are able to take from the business and give to yourself personally. Payroll. You need to start there first and foremost. How much do I need to survive personally? Business, if you go full time, it's a separate entity. How much do you need to take from your business to live your life? And see, I kind of got a little bit into the ADHD Dave saga I was looking at about people attacking him because of his kid's lifestyle or ability to, whatever the word, provide for his kids or whatever. And that's coming from ignorance and not knowing the situation. And it's probably people who just can't comprehend, who would never do something like that because they can't do something like that because they're jealous or lazy. But for the biggest part, it's because you're not in the situation. You don't know all the details. You don't know everything, so you can't make a judgment on that. First off, even if he did tell his numbers, like I think he started to in that one video I started watching, you still don't know what his expenses are. So for you to make that comment is just out of pure ignorance, because even if you knew what he was bringing in, you don't know what he's spending. You don't know. I was raised on bologna sandwiches and I'm doing damn fine. All right. I was raised in a $200 a month apartment with cockroaches. I turned out fine. Now, I'm not saying he's in that situation. I'm saying you don't know the situation of the outgoing money. His house could be paid off. If that's the case, that's a huge plus right there. So there's a lot more details that a lot of people don't tell you. And they don't have to tell you that. But what you should pay attention to in the video is, and that's one reason I went this route, is because I tell you I need to put into my bank account $521 a day after eBay fees. I need $521 a day to go into my business account. That pays for all the business bills and pays for my personal bills, my payroll. So, but my whole point is not like to knock anybody or anything like that, obviously. I don't think I've said anything close to that. But my point is to not be enamored by somebody who just says, oh yeah, I've made $1,000 a day today, but yet they may need 800 of that just to cover their cost of business, and they may need another 500 to cover their cost of personal life. So right there, they're $300 in the hole. It's not they made $1,000 today, woohoo, let's go. It's, when you know your numbers, I'm $300 in the hole. Crap. So when people would bitch at me, well, if I did $700, I'd be happy. Well, I'm not, because I needed to do 721 so that I could put 521 into the bank account before fees, 721. So when I say I haven't made my low end is 721. So how could you say, well, chances are the person saying that probably don't even know their numbers. Not only that, they don't know the details of my numbers that I do give because they only watch the one video. But that's why I try to, and I don't know if I've been successful or not, you guys can tell me, into making sure I break it down into details like that to know, hey, if I don't do $721 a day, I'm failing. But there's ways, there's failings in a way of, I could always lower my income because there's a lot of padding, right? So overall, it's not technically failing as a whole, like, oh, I'm going to lose something. I would just have to take a little bit less money. And it's not like I spend a lot of money anyway on myself. So there's a lot of padding in my payroll. It's not just to cover the bills. There's padding there too. So I can always take from that padding, but I shouldn't have to. I'm trying to sustain my stability of being the same, even with all these errors and problems going on. So knowing your numbers and knowing the details of the YouTubers you're watching, I think is essential to you making the right decisions and choices in your life if you do know your numbers. So, if that makes sense. Because, and like, there's another way of looking at it too. I think like Dave was saying, he's got a big income from YouTube also. So he's doing a resell and YouTube combo to make his decisions on, which is nothing wrong with that at all, because he's incorporating the videos he make as part of his business, right? Where I came in late, so I don't want to do that. As of right now, I still don't have to do that, right? So I look at it as separate bonus money. It's not something I have to do in order to survive or for the business to survive. I'm trying to avoid that, because when you get into that kind of situation, then that's where you're making videos more focused on driving revenue as opposed to doing it for the fun of it or doing it for the benefit of the viewer. You're doing it more for the benefit of you because you need to do it, because you've got to make this much money here to make the whole thing as a whole work. You know what I'm saying? I guarantee you there's some big YouTubers out there who you see all these big numbers from on the reselling side, but I guarantee you they would fail if they didn't have the YouTube income. That is from the beginning when I said you got to watch which ones you pay attention to and get into the ones very detailed about everything. Because when you're just starting, you don't have a big YouTube. So you have to solely rely on the resell side. And you're being blindsided by all these high dollar looking gold stars when YouTube is feeding a percentage of that. And without it, that would drop to the bottom and fail. So find those YouTubers who, if they are getting paid on YouTube, that they show you the separation of the two. And I doubt there would be many people out there who would admit to, if they turned off their YouTube, they would fail at reselling. Because one, they would lose their YouTube revenue for saying that, because it would make them put themselves in a negative light and may cost them some viewers in their head. Me, I tell you, if I don't make this much money reselling, then guess what? I'm pulling it from YouTube, right? But like I said, I haven't had to go there yet. Plus, because with mine, if I don't make, say, I didn't make 721 to 520, and 521 out, I could still technically make my dollar if I spent less on shipping. So if I'm like today, or yesterday, I think it was $35 short of the money that goes into my account. But if I save that $35 on fees and shipping, then I technically made my goal. It's just not the goal number because I saved that $35 in costs, if that makes sense. So even if I say I didn't make my low dollar goal, my low dollar number, that doesn't mean I didn't make the goal. Hopefully you understood that. So if you're trying to do something full time, don't get blinded by the people not separating the two. And it can be very deceptive, and you won't know who's doing that unless you just clearly have people who's not sharing the information. Then it's not that you don't know if they can or can't do it. It's you don't know if they are because you don't see the details. So it could be leading you in the wrong direction. So I think channels like that, you have to take the superficial information from. Don't take the detailed information from. Take the superficial, like he sold XYZ, that's a bolo. Take that from the video. You know what I mean? So don't try to base your business on a big YouTuber and how they do things. If they're not being fully transparent on if that YouTube is funding that reselling venture. So, hope that makes sense. And like I said, the wave I feel like I'm on, there's more of us that are willing to show and give the numbers. And that's why I was kind of trying to separate it on the Found on Fridays, even though I keep forgetting to show you the YouTube revenue on those videos too, so that you could see, okay, on Found on Friday, we made XYZ. And for the videos I did on Found on Friday, I made ABC. And you can see the separation of the two. So, and that's why I'm open about the YouTube revenue. I'm open about the money daily so that you can see the actual breakdowns. Because so many will say, well, I sell junk, I ain't making no money, et cetera, et cetera. And then all my numbers will show you differently. And I'm not sitting up here saying nothing about the YouTube, but saying, oh yeah, I'm doing great over here. I'm doing great over here. Reaching back to YouTube. I'm doing great over here. Reselling is awesome. I am making a killing. Watch me do my videos. I can show you how it's done. Don't look behind my back. Don't want you to fall into false advertisement, false hope. That's my bottom line story. Okay, let's get this stuff shipped. Da, 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 da. And trust me, no matter what stage I'm on, I'm going to let you know everything about every stage I'm on. If 7 years from now, 10 years from now, say my YouTube is doing 3 times what it's doing now, and I go, man, I am 62 years old. I need to slow down. I need to do something differently. You're going to know it because I'm going to tell you, and you're going to know if I take some of this and put over here. You know what I mean? Like, man, I'm 62 years old. I don't feel like doing this too much anymore. That's probably not going to happen, but I'm just giving you just a prediction or not a prediction, but a scenario. So you know what? I don't have to make 521 anymore. I can make 421 because I'm going to make 100 a day over here on YouTube. And then I would convey that information so there would be no false look going on, if you will. So I'm always going to be transparent about everything no matter what happens. So that's why I try to talk about even just the, which I haven't done, I forgot to do this weekend, with the packages and the affiliate thing, and it'll save me $50 a month or whatever the case may be. So trying to be fully transparent with it all so that you're not blinded by anything, so you can make more more educated decisions. That's the word I was looking for. Educated decisions. All right, first up, we've got a pair of Polo Sports sneakers. These sold for $10.70. Let me just look over here. Why? Oh. I finally sold one of those Grateful Dead shirts. Last time we were in Smoky Mountains, there's next to the Goodwills, there's like a wholesale type of, I think it's called Hammer something or Freight something. So I always go in there and I like finding like multiples of things in there. Like one time I got some Genesis band, the band Genesis playing cards, and I bought a whole ton of those, and it took forever to sell, but I like finding the bulk stuff, some of the bulk stuff there. So last time I found these Grateful Dead shirts, most of them size small, and I paid, I think, $2 a piece for them. I got 18 size small, and I think there was one other size, maybe a medium or an extra small I got some of. So I bought 17 of them, and one finally sold. And I had price at $17.49. So, all right. Baby, here I am. I can give you what you want, but you got to come home to me. Take my hand, don't be afraid. I'm gonna prove every word I say. All right. Da 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 da. Da, da, da. Okay, this is not. There we go. Now I am corrected. Next up, we've got this wool beige cowboy hat, unbranded, and headed to Haku, Hawaii. Sold for $9. Haku, Hawaii. Oh, I think somebody made a... Let me go down here a little bit. I think somebody made a comment over the weekend that I wanted to make a point from, but I forgot about it. Thanks for all these comments. I really do appreciate it. They do, I think, help the videos. So. It's funny to me when YouTube channels run into eBay issues you have been pointing out for months now. And it seems like more people are being open about talking about the issues and even making videos on it. So the louder it gets, the louder it'll be. So hopefully the better it'll, hopefully, but I don't see it. But I don't remember what this comment was. I don't know where it was or where it is or. All right, I'm not wasting no more time on this because I don't remember where it was. Oh well. Guess it wasn't that important. Next up, we've got Information Society on cassette, Peace and Love Incorporated. Sold for $10, headed to Mesa, Arizona. I gotta remember to do my packaging thing today and order my eBay packing. Oops. Haven't heard no negative comments back on my packaging, so on this stuff. So that was the last little thing I was kind of waiting for. All right, Mid-Centenet Public Library trucker hat sold for $9.50. Headed to Arlington, Virginia. There's some history there. Baby, why is Black Crow stuck in my head? I haven't even listened to anything today yet. Here I am, baby, on the scene. I can give you what you want, but you got to come home to me. Take my hand, don't be afraid, I'm gonna prove you what I say. Yeah, this piece that might shock some of you, I found it in one of my drawers that probably was bought, and I lost track of it on non-paying bidder, and it never got relisted type of thing. But I had bought like probably about 25 more of these, and they all sold pretty quick. All right, headed to Malaysia. Where are you at? I know I pulled you. Where did that go? Maybe I left her over here. Yes. So we got an import cassette of Sheena Easton. Headed to Malaysia. Sold for $9. Baby, here I am. Alrighty, Sheena. $9. What am I doing today? Trying to list a bunch of hats. So we got a Champion brand women's running cap. So for $9.50, headed to Riverside, Rhode Island. Oh, that's what I want to check. I decided to make a change on my media. On my media, I had buy two, get one free. It's kind of working. Not as good as I was hoping, but that could be with other variables included. The reasoning why, but so I had talked about before, when you do free shipping on media, what kills you is that first item, because people will still only buy one item, and my goal is to try to make people buy more than one. So that's why I did the buy two, get one free. So I kind of did the math the other day and figured out I can save 20 cents on each order, or make 20 cents more on each order, but make it look more appealing. Might make it look more appealing. Next up, we got this Ham's Beer hoodie. Just picked that up not too long ago at a Ben's, one of the bins. And that sold for $31.50. Headed to Angley, Wisconsin. So I took down the buy two, get one free and started buy two, get free shipping. I'm thinking, well, that might look better to people because if somebody can't find three, maybe they can find two. First off, it still saves people money when they buy in bulk. I was already doing the $3.99 unlimited anyway. So that's $3.99. $3.99 I'm cutting out. I'm going to lose if they buy two. But if they did the buy three, get one free, I was losing 20 cents more, plus I was losing a CD on top of it. So instead of now selling three, I can sell two and make 20 cents on that order. And hopefully buy two, get free shipping looks more appealing than maybe buy three, get one free. So we'll see how that plays out. Trying to find what works with the best of the psyche of the shopper. Kind of like 99 cents. That's why people always use 98, 97, 98, because it's a mental thing. When you see 19, you think 19. Most people think, instead of seeing $20. So at quick glance, it says 19. Drill Sergeant hat. Sold for $8, headed to Westland, Michigan. I think there used to be studies on that thing. That's why so many people, that's why basically everybody uses 95, 96, 97, 99, 98. It's all about the psychology. So in psychology, will the buy two, get free shipping look better? Because see, nobody could see that I was doing the $3.99 one price shipping. There was no way to promote that. So now there's at least a way to promote that but still make 20% on top of it. And they only had to buy 2. But I kept doing it over the weekend, and it wouldn't override my listings when you clicked on them. Find it. There's just no easy way to get here anymore. I have to click around. Go into my store, click my item, click the link, open a new page, click see other items. Pain in the ass. All right. See, it did it again. My 30% off sale is overriding my shipping discount when it comes to being able to be seen. So now nobody can see my buy 2, get free shipping, because the save 30% has overrode that on my page. What's the point of doing a shipping discount if somebody can't see that you're doing a shipping discount? And I tried, so overnight I took the sale off. They were all reading buy 2, get free shipping. So I'm like, all right, turned it all back on today, made sure that the buy 2, get free shipping was marked as number 1 in the chain, but it still came back and overrode it with the 30% off. So nobody's even going to know I do that unless they add to cart. And the whole point was trying to not do that. Oh, crap. I'm going to have to figure out another way around that today then. Next step is I'll look harder to see if there's a coupon that will do that. Because I know the coupons kind of override that sale thing. When I talk about when you click on an item and get into the item page, and over the picture it'll say buy 2, get free shipping. And right now it got trumped by the save up to 30% again. So that free shipping, or the shipping discount in the promotion area, does not trump the sale. But yet the coupon trumps the sale placement. So I'm but I don't think there's another way of doing it from a quick glance yesterday or the day before when I quick glanced it. So I got to look to see if there's another way of doing that. If not, then maybe I just do the buy 2, get free shipping, and just mark all my cassettes down 30% and don't run any sales. That could be another way. But I feel like sales help the algorithm, so I don't know. Florida Seminoles hat, sold for $9.50, headed to Sun City, Florida. Sun City Center, Florida. Well, I don't know. Have to figure it out. There ain't nothing about eBay that's easy anymore when it comes to interacting and doing things on the site. It's all just one big mess. All right, headed to Germany's. This Elvis cassette I bought back in 2006 for 50 cents somewhere. Probably part of a lot of something, I don't know. Elvis Presley, headed to Germany, sold for $3.50. Not sure why I would have paid 50 cents for a cassette, but who knows? I don't remember that long ago on one little item like this without any markings on it. Next up, we've got the item I've been speaking of. $3.50. And of course, you want your code. Your communist code. So this next item I got over 10 years ago. And I found about 20 to 25 of the same item, but different. And I remember them being there late at the bins going, nobody grabbed these? That's when they were changing out rows every 20 minutes. I'm like, I can't believe nobody's grabbed these. I found these. I found a bunch of Generation 1 Transformer instruction manuals. Just paper instruction manuals. Grabbed those, and then mixed in with them were some G.I. Joe backer cards from the 83, 85 era. And they all had where the person ripped the figure off the card, and that's what causes that. Some of them I had like more than half of the card missing. And these things sell. So here's a little bolo you probably don't know of. Even packaging from the 80s, totally tore up, will sell. I wish I could remember the dollar amounts, but these weren't $5 items. This one sold for $15 for this. And I know I've got more out of some of them, depending on the collectability of the figure that was on it. Some of them went higher than 15. I know that for a fact, but this one sold for 15. So don't overlook what most people think is trash. Let's see if this will fit in 45 spot. Do that without folding it in anyway. So yeah, nice little. I found it in the drawer. I'm like, huh. Thought all these sold. There you go. Nothing sold, has it, since we've been here? Maybe one item? We're at $10.20. I'm at $200. Well, $198 to be exact. So it's definitely a better start than the last 3 days. I do got 2 True Gatherers. I need to get out. The Jungle Book VHS tape. Head to Prosper, New York. Sold for $9. Go into unsold items. See if it's within reach. Well, we're already at 104. I'll let you guys go. The other item was St. Jude's Children's Hospital hat. Headed to Groverland, Illinois. Sold for $11. The Jungle Book in T29. That's all the way around there. All right. Well, that's it for Monday morning video. So appreciate it. I should be able to do my short video into a long video today and get that up, so that might pop up later. And I can start emailing that thing out. I think that's it. Thanks everybody for watching. I'll see you all in the next video. Later.